Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to show you how I kind of do my current everyday makeup. I posted a photo on Instagram maybe like last week, and a couple of you were asking what products I use and how I do my makeup every day. So I'm going to show you a variation of it. It honestly kind of just depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll do a little bit more contour. Sometimes I'll wear lashes. Sometimes I'll like bump up my lipstick. Just kind of depends. This is kind of the basic version of what I do every day. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with just covering some of the red spots. So this is just a Sephora Bright Future color corrector in the shade green. So if you're not familiar with kind of color correcting, green is going to cancel out red. So I'm going to use that just on any little blemishes that I have before I apply my foundation. Apply them to my red spots. Sometimes I like to use this little brush just to kind of blend them in. Okay, so we want to make sure that the green is totally blended, especially on the high points of your face, like on the top of your nose, your chin, because if it's not blended and you can see any green through your foundation, it's going to be really noticeable. So while that's kind of drying, I'm going to go in with this Urban Decay Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. So this is in the shade Minor Sin. And I really like this one if I'm going kind of light on my eyeshadow because it's a little bit shimmery. And it just shows through really nicely. Okay, and now I'm going to go with foundation. So right now I'm using the NARS Sheer Glow. I've been using this one for a while. It's one of my favorites. And I'm going to use this Sephora foundation brush to apply it, and then I'll kind of use a bit of a beauty blender to go over, just to make sure that there's no streaks. So with foundation, you definitely want to work in like thin kind of sheer layers. And then if you want to build on that, let it dry before reapplying another coat. And if you've done any color correcting, just make sure to kind of dab over the area rather than wipe, so that you don't get rid of any of the color corrector that you've placed. This looks really light on the camera, but I promise it does match my skin tone. And then make sure you just bring it down so it's really blended in on your jawline and kind of down your neck, just using a little bit of excess product that's on your brush. All right, so now that I look like a pale ghost, time to do concealer. So this is the MAC Pro Longwear concealer. I really like this one for under my eyes. I chose a tone that is kind of peachy, just because if there's any darkness under my eyes, the peach will kind of correct that as well. So I'm going to use a small concealer brush to apply that, and then I'll go over with everything with my beauty blender. Something to note about this concealer too is it does dry pretty quickly, so I like to work in sections. Okay, so I just kind of zoomed in. I don't know if you guys can see the difference. I'm gonna put a little bit more. Sometimes your under eye will absorb a lot of product just because the skin is typically drier there. So don't be afraid to kind of let it sink in and then go over and reapply. Okay, and then I'm just gonna use a little bit of the concealer to also kind of spot correct anywhere that's still a little bit blemishy. My cheeks are really bad right now, I don't know why. So while my concealer is fresh and hasn't had a chance to crease yet, I'm going to set it. So I'm using the RCMA No Color Powder to set my makeup. And if I can find it, under the eye, I like to use just kind of a large eyeshadow brush. I just find it helps to really get into the smaller areas, and I just tap the powder. You can kind of set your lid as well with this. And then I just take a larger powder brush to lightly go over my T-zone. All right. Okay, so now that everything's set, I'm going to go in with my bronzer. So typically on a day-to-day basis, I don't really contour. I just kind of use my bronzer. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay. I obviously really like it. And this is just a kind of small blush brush. And I'm just gonna kind of lightly go in here. And then I always bring it up on my forehead as well. And then down onto my jawline. So you can see that's really helped to warm it up. And then I'm just gonna do it lightly on the sides of my nose and my brow bone. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more bronzer on my crease area. So this is just a crease brush, I think it's called, yeah, crease brush. And I'm gonna put a little bit of bronzer in there, and I'm just gonna, okay, so, sorry, it got cut off. I'm just blending this bronzer into my crease area. Okay, so you can kind of see how that just gave a little bit more definition to my eyes. And for blush, I'm going to use this Tarte Amazonian Clay in shade Party and just lightly apply it to the apples of my cheeks. Okay, so now using this Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit, I'm just going to use a couple of the highlight shades for my eye as well. So with a larger shadow brush, I'm just going to use this matte pink on my eyelids. So this will just kind of add a little bit of brightness. And then you can just take a bit of a smaller brush So something like this, and use it. You can use matte or shimmery. I'm going to use the shimmery one and apply it just a little bit to the inner corners. So also with this Anastasia palette, I'm going to use a little bit of the highlighter. So that would be, so that would be this one. And I'm just going to apply a little bit to my cheekbones. Again, using that small brush, I'm just going to take a little bit and kind of rub it under my brow. So now to do my brows, I'm going to use this Anastasia Brow Definer in dark brown. And to start, I just kind of comb my hairs up, and then I just draw a line along the bottom. My eyebrows are fairly short, so I kind of extend it out a little bit. And then brush up, and then I just kind of see where I need any more product. Okay, so once my brows are filled in, I'm going to use this Anastasia Clear Brow Gel and just go over so that all of the hairs stay in place. Okay, so now to finish up my eyes, I'm going to curl my lashes and apply a little bit of mascara and then lipstick, and we're done. So this is just a Sephora lash curler. I'm just gonna go in and give a couple little curls. I don't really love this lash curler. Like, for some reason my lashes always get stuck in it, so I have to be really careful. Okay, and then my mascara that I'm using right now is just from, it's Eye Envy. So the reason why I'm using it is because I had lash extensions. So I don't anymore, but I'm just going to use it up. And apply a little bit to the tops, just to coat the top of the lash. So I'm just going to wiggle it through. And I'm going to apply a few coats to get the look that I want. Okay, so now that my mascara is applied, while I let that dry, I'm just going to put on a little bit of lipstick. So my favorite kind of everyday nude lipstick is the MAC Creme de Nude. And you can see that I really love it because there's like none left. So I have to use a little brush, lip brush, to kind of get it out. And then so it's just like a really pretty kind of nude, a little bit peachy, and a little bit shimmery. So last, I always finish with a setting spray. So this is the Kat Von D Locket. Almost out of this one too, running low. So I'm just going to give a couple spritz of this and I'll be done. Okay, so that is basically how I do my makeup, or a variation of how I do my makeup every day. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any future requests for videos, please comment or message me. I would love to hear them. And if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my page. Thank you guys for watching.